Aaron Wilson. I know I've been on a bit of a Moral Instruments kick recently. This has to do with the fact that in May, the final book in this series is coming out. It's called City of Heavenly Fire. Here's the cover. It is freaking beautiful. Let's just talk about the cover for a moment. We have Clary and Sebastian. I like how they incorporated the wings. And Clary is holding a sword, and this is just, it's so beautiful. I love it. Today I will be discussing my theories as to what I think is going to happen in City of Heavenly Fire. I'm going to say now that if you have yet to read the entire Moral Instruments series up to this point, that is City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, and City of Lost Souls, you leave now. Also, there are likely going to be some spoilers from the Infernal Devices series, so if you haven't read Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess yet, I also recommend you go away. I strongly recommend that you read all 8 of those books before picking up City of Heavenly Fire as well. With the first 5, the reasons are kind of obvious. The Infernal Devices series, a little less obvious, and I'm going to keep it that way. Goodbye. So let's just start with the angel wings that Sebastian, I assume it was Sebastian, pretty sure it was Sebastian, left behind. There was no angel attached to these wings, it was just the angel wings, and a note left from Jonathan Christopher. So I'm really curious as to what they're going to do with these wings. Is there just now an angel going around without its wings? What is happening? Is Sebastian trying to strengthen what he has already created with these dark shadow hunter creatures by adding angel blood to the mix? Or maybe he's trying to turn himself into an angel? Maybe? Is that possible? Maybe. That's possible. I don't know why Valentine wouldn't have tried that. Maybe Alright, so this is where we get into the Infernal Devices spoilers. Tessa Gray. Jocelyn introduces Clary to Tessa Gray. So we know that Tessa Gray makes an appearance in City of Heavenly Fire. How big of an influence she makes, no idea. At the end of Clockwork Princess, she didn't really give anything away as to what happens. I'm kind of assuming that she doesn't meet Isabel or Jace or Alec. We know that she meets Clary, and that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna guess that Tessa Gray is probably gonna give Clary some sort of insights, maybe from like an outside perspective. Jocelyn apparently knows Tessa, so I mean Tessa has to have some sort of big thing that we don't really know about. So I'm going to assume that Tessa Gray has this big part in the Shadowhunter world, and maybe she has some advice to give Clary that will help. I don't know what kind of advice it is. It might be helping Clary with Jace and his Heavenly Fire problem. We do know that Brother Zachariah, aka Jem, I'm just going to call him Brother Zachariah for the purposes of nothing. Big, huge, shocking reveal. Everyone thought that Brother Zachariah was Will. We already knew from the epilogue of Clockwork Princess that something was going to happen with Brother Zachariah, that the Lightwood kids were going to help him out. I must make a very lame pun. The relationship between Jace and Clary really heated up. So Jace and Heavenly Fire, we know where the book got its title from. So the other night I was reading a whole bunch of little snippets that Cassandra Clare has released on her Tumblr. We came up with a couple of different theories. There's a snippet where Clary was looking at Sebastian and was going on about his green eyes and how he was always there for her. We know that Sebastian has black eyes and he has like scars all over him. how does that work? So I kind of thought about it. What if the Heavenly Fire affects people mentally? Clary is likely to be around Jace as much as she can be, especially at this point in the relationship. Maybe the Heavenly Fire does something to her, and so she thinks of Sebastian in a certain way. Or perhaps Sebastian recognizes what's going on and he uses it to his own advantage. Then there was my initial theory that has absolutely nothing to do with Jace and the Heavenly Fire, and more to do with maybe Sebastian used some sort of ritual type thing, kind of like what happened between him and Jace. He just got inside Clary's head and just changed everything about him in her eyes. Maybe he did something like what was done when Clary was a child, so that she wouldn't see the Shadow Hunters anymore. Sebastian got into Clary's head and just changed all of her memories so that she saw Sebastian with her all the time. And then Sebastian probably used some sort of glamour so that he would have green eyes. It might be a little far-fetched, but it's what I got. Back to Jace and the Heavenly Fire. I'm gonna kind of roll with that last theory there. I'm wondering if the relationship with Jace will still be there, if maybe Clary just kind of gets away from Jace after something like that happens. And so Jace is just kind of alone dealing with this issue with the Heavenly Fire. Maybe Jace uses the Heavenly Fire to his advantage in some way. Maybe he uses it to remind Clary. Alright, let's focus on my favorite character here for a moment. Simon, he lost his mark. I am really scared for him now. Especially because Cassandra Clare decided to release one of the chapter titles, and it's called Simon's Sacrifice. Simon lost his mark, and now everybody that wanted to kill him can kill him now. There's been some snippets of Sizzy happening. I guess this is the part where we say goodbye. Really? Really? You gotta do that to me, Sizzy. Okay, I have been excited for Sizzy since the beginning of the series. And here we are. And I can pretty much bet you, just with my luck with characters, just because Simon is my favorite character, he is going to die. Maybe that is what snaps Clary out of whatever trance she gets put into. Maybe Clary is the reason why Simon dies. Clary is the reason why Simon dies. He sacrifices himself for her. She probably doesn't remember who he is. She probably remembers some weird twisted past that Sebastian put in her head. And she doesn't remember all those years with Simon. And so what happens is she gets herself in a dangerous situation, and Simon sacrifices himself to save Clary. Watching this guy that she doesn't think that she knows just jump in front of her to save her from whatever's coming her way, it just clicks right back. And she remembers that he is her best friend, and she goes and she kills Sebastian right there. That is how it's going to end. So then there's the couple that broke up at the end of City of Lost Souls, Malik. But I'm pretty sure that they are going to make up in City of Heavenly Fire.
Your boyfriend is dead. Thought you should know.
So that tells me that either Simon is going to die, like I already theorized, Alec is going to die, Magnus is going to die, or Jace is going to die. Now honestly, I can see any of these characters dying. I know that with Magnus and Alec, it's going to be one or the other. I'm sticking with my Simon theory. I'm not very excited for that. I really hope that I'm wrong with that. I would be much happier to see Jace die. Not saying that I want Jace to die, but if somebody has to die, Just saying. So I'm going to guess that Sebastian might just get away again. I say this for multiple reasons. One, as an author, you kind of expect the series to end with the bad guy gone. Don't have to worry about him anymore. And you want to shock the reader. I say that as a very unprofessional writer, but it is one of the few tricks that I have picked up. Two, I really think that Sebastian is going to make an appearance in the Dark Artifices series, which is coming out set like 5 years after the end of the Moral Instruments. And part of the reason I think this is because we are making this huge connection between the Moral Instruments series and the Dark Artifices series by having some of these characters show up. And I think that Sebastian is going to be like Valentine. We might think that he is dead, but he's probably not actually going to be dead and he's going to show up again. Or we will just know that he got away and they still haven't caught him 5 years later. So these were some kind of harebrained ideas. I'm really excited for this book. I already know from the bits and pieces that have been released that I am going to be an emotional wreck while reading this book. This was basically me just thinking aloud. So if you have any theories as to what may happen in the City of Heavenly Fire book, the 6th and final book in the Moral Instruments series, leave your theories in the comments below. Make sure that if you make any connections to any other books in either the Moral Instruments or the Infernal Devices, you note that there are spoilers in your comments. Can't really do a video response anymore because of Google+, but if you want to make your own City of Heavenly Fire prediction, speculation, whatever you want to call it video, please do so. I would honestly love to hear other people's theories. They're probably going to be a lot more organized and well thought out than mine. We, as a community, as a fandom, can build these theories up together just to find that they are all wrong when the book comes out. I am Erin Wilson. I post a new video every Wednesday. Don't forget to be awesome. Bye-bye. There are so many books that I said I would read and I haven't read yet, and I'm so ashamed of myself. Don't wanna talk about it, don't wanna talk about it. Happy birthday to me. That's really okay. So all fandoms have those things that just nobody within that fandom ever says.